still angry, but civil. Angelenos take to the streets again, continuing to demand an end to raids targeting immigrants.
All the families that got separated, that are broken up right now, the houses that don't have their parents.
It's not the chaos of yesterday, but the atmosphere is tense and the situation quickly escalates.
Police have now started to disperse the crowds, including with tear gas, and we actually got hit. And you can see why they call it tear gas. It really burns your eyes, it burns your nose, your lips, your throat. It's pretty unpleasant, I've got to say.
A short time later, our cameraman is shot in the chest with a non-lethal bullet. Thankfully, he's not injured. The day began peacefully, this march more like a music festival. But as it moves towards the federal building and face-to-face with the soldiers guarding it, the temperature changes. The LA Mayor and California Governor continue to blame the recent violence on the presence of the National Guard, deployed by the US President without their consent. Now Gavin Newsom is taking Donald Trump to court over it.
This was not inevitable. We'll never know what might have been had the President left our state and local authorities to continue the important work they were already doing.
Until we went in, if we didn't do the job, that place would be burning down just like the houses burned down. They were in big trouble last night.
Most of the protests have been in LA's downtown, first in the Fashion District and then around the Federal Building and Detention Centre, with some protests popping up further south in Paramount and neighbouring Compton. And despite concerns from local authorities, Washington has announced 700 Marines will now be sent to LA until all the National Guard deployment reaches the city, a number that's now been doubled to 4,000.
I mean, we didn't need the National Guard. Why on earth? What are they going to do? Do you know what the National Guard is doing now? They are guarding 2 buildings.
The US government response to the protests is rippling all the way to the Australian government. The Prime Minister saying he's raised the apparent targeting of an Australian journalist with the administration.
That footage was horrific. It is not unreasonable to think that she would not have been targeted with a rubber bullet.
Trying to get answers from a country at war with itself. Lauren Day, ABC News, Los Angeles.
As we've seen throughout these protests, there's a very different atmosphere during the day compared to what we see after dark. As soon as night fell, tensions really began to escalate. We saw a lot more confrontations between police and protesters. There were a lot more bangs of those rubber bullets and flashbang grenades and tear gas being deployed, and much more of a sense that this could really erupt at any moment. The other thing that was really interesting tonight is we saw a lot of tension between what I would say is the vast majority of protesters who are peaceful and a small minority who've been throwing things at police, spitting at police, and who really don't seem to care whether or not this does erupt into an all-out confrontation. The peaceful protesters have been yelling at them in some circumstances and telling them, "You're making us look bad." So I think there's a real sense here that what we're seeing night after night on the streets of LA could actually be playing into Donald Trump's hands.